Hi, I'm Tim Newbold, Director of Strategy at Skillfire. We help organisations achieve the incredible by setting audacious goals, getting clear on their strategy, and creating high-impact teams. Today, I want to do a little bit of an introduction to the OKR framework and really get down to what are we talking about. If I could sum it up in its most briefest form, it's about creating outcomes. There's plenty of goal-setting frameworks out there that are going to help you get stuff done. What they don't necessarily do though is create business value, and they're certainly not going to tell you that you're progressing to achieving that business value. And that's a key distinction with objectives and key results. There's a whole bunch more, but we'll get to that. So if we think about traditional goals, it's about achieving the goal is the outcome. So it might be about releasing a new product. It might be about getting a certain grade. The reality is though, that's not an outcome. The outcome is the value that creates. So if you get a certain grade, maybe it gets you access to a prestigious university or a prestigious job. If we think about many other sort of things, it's going to take time for us to build up the right sort of ideas and concepts to get there. So we want to know early if we're taking the right kind of steps. Now, simply, if I do this, then I achieve that. So if I deliver this thing, then I get that. That's what an outcome is, and that's what OKRs helps you achieve. Let's give a bit of an example. Now, if you're a band, you want to release an album and really be successful with it. The question for you is not just focusing on that album and that album being a success, but what do you actually want to achieve as an individual? Now, there could be many, many things, but in simple forms, it's not about creating the record. It's about what you want. Maybe you want fame. Maybe you want that record to go viral so the whole world knows who you are, and that's important to you. It's not for me, but I'm no judge. Maybe for you, that would be. Another one might be money, and again, this is not a terribly great outcome, but it's also going to be the sort of thing which maybe is not going to be the best thing that can tell you you're being successful. And it's not going to be the big thing that you want to achieve. Maybe you want freedom, that might be an even better outcome. But at the end of the day, money's going to give you some options, right? So that can still be a bit of an outcome. Down here, maybe it's an award. Maybe you want to be known as the first person in your industry to achieve a certain level of sales, or maybe create music that has a certain impact. Whatever it might be, don't focus on the outcome. Whatever it might be, don't focus on the record. Focus on the outcome. With objectives and key results, it's all about creating stretch. We want to be able to drive ourselves hard to be able to achieve the incredible. Now, OKRs are intentionally set so that we fail. Before I get to the format a little bit later on, the simple form is we want to go from a score of 0 to 1, where 0 we've done and achieved nothing, to 1 we've ticked off and made it happen. If we get about a 0.7, that's considered success. Anything higher and you're probably sandbagging, anything lower and you're not trying hard enough. And that's the score that we use to rate each of our key results. Again, we'll get back to that in a moment. The thing to remember here is, it's all about stretch. So in the context of organisations, what does this have and where does OKRs fit in? At the very top, your organisation needs a purpose, and if you don't, then you seriously need to work out what it is. People today are looking for businesses that are inspiring and engage them and help them actually see something bigger and achieve something greater. If your business doesn't have a clear purpose, you're not going to be getting the most out of your people. And this is the time where you need to be doing it, because OKRs demands that you have a clear purpose, because they're all about connecting us with the why. Why am I doing this work today and why is it important? The next thing is, it takes a valuable slice out of strategy. So you need to have a clear business strategy. OKRs can actually help you elaborate and clarify that strategy, but they're not going to give you the teeth that your business needs to be successful unless you have that clear strategy. Finally, we come down to the OKRs themselves, and what are they all about? The most important thing about an OKR is how it aligns and connects an organisation, so that everyone is clear on what is most important right now and they are heading in the same direction. They're working on the same things. So we can see From the top, the executive team is focused on the same set of outcomes. The layer below that are making sure that they're all contributing to that. Each of the teams that support those parts of the business have their own OKR, and that aligns with the bigger picture. And through this, not only do we get vertical alignment that supports the entire business, but horizontal alignment, where it connects teams, connects dependencies, make sure that we're all working together. We've all heard of a story where some other part of the business won't help you because they're busy doing their own thing. OKRs help you get explicit. And when you do this on a quarterly cadence, it means that you can connect as a business and have a regular conversation around how do we need to work together to achieve all the same things. Creating that focus as a business creates an unstoppable wave of attention and force that will help you make a massive impact as a business. It is just so powerful, but you have to invest in it to get it right. If we come over here then, what actually is the structure of an objective and key result? Well, we have the objective, which is a simple statement of the what. Again, it connects us with why we're doing this piece of work. The key results are the how. They tell us how we're delivering against that objective and whether we're being successful. A simple example we've got here is the objective being have our customers love our product. Nice simple statement. It's inspirational. It's really sort of engaging. It's going to get people moved in on a bigger sort of picture. It's something that is going to have that kind of impact in your organization. How do we measure success on that? Well, we've got these key results. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them, but let's go through the top two. To really have your customers fall in love, maybe you need to improve your turnaround time. So here we're talking about going from a turnaround time of 10 days to 2 days. Now, again, this might not apply to your business. You might not have a turnaround time, but you could imagine if, as a business, you and your competitors all took 10 days to maybe produce a particular artwork for clients. If you could take that down to 2 days, wouldn't that be massive? This kind of key result can get focus for your whole business that really drives alignment and cohesion. Next, customer satisfaction from 3.5 to 4.5. Now, we can see that we're trying to drive out that happiness with the customer. And it means every part of the business needs to contribute because the customer's experience extends across the whole business. From the moment they come and start using your product or service to the moment that they decide to wrap up and move to another provider. They're going to need every part of your business working well together. If they're having a great experience, you know what? They're not going to wrap up with you. They're going to keep going. And that is what creates a limitless business. So a common question we get is, what's the difference between KPIs and OKRs? I try to put it pretty simply. Objectives and key results are about change. KPIs are better in the world of maintaining business health, and so they're still going to be relevant to you. Let's look at a real world example. Let's say your vision is getting to Mars, and that's part of your purpose is sort of advancing humanity. Your strategy is your flight path to get from Earth to Mars. Your objective and key result is going to be the next immediate step. So if you've got your team and you've got your rocket already, just getting up into the stratosphere, that might be your OKR. And the measures are going to tell you, have you got the right velocity to get there? Are you making the right kind of progress? Are you taking the right kind of trajectory from the Earth to the stratosphere to get there? All these kind of things. The KPIs, on the other hand, are talking about the health. So, do you have enough fuel? Is your fuel not running out? If your fuel is running out, do you have some kind of safety backup system that you need to invoke? Is there too much vibration going on? Do we need to eject because the rocket's starting to fall apart? These kind of things are the measures where, as long as they're within a certain health range, we're in the green to sort of orange territory, it's okay, and we don't need to do anything. That's expected territory. Mind you, if we go into the red, that's when you need to change. And sometimes a KPI at that point becomes an objective and key result because it's gone from being about maintaining to actually, you know what, we need to course correct this KPI. Let's set an OKR to make the improvement to get it back to a healthy number. So in a small form, that is what objectives and key results is all about. It's about connecting us with the why, having a radical impact by taking a nice valuable slice out of our strategy and taking small steps that are going to show that we're making value. Each step of the way, we want to know that we're heading in the right direction. So if we can have metrics that tell us in advance that we're doing really well, that's going to be a real game changer for us.